Is there any translation? Because I'll be speaking English, so if somebody requires some other translation, so probably could help.
Yes, Finnish and Russian translation here if needed. Vilas, we are into Russian. Keshav will do Finnish. If not, then please.
Hare Krishna. First of all, thank you very much for coming here and spending a precious time coming to temple in such a harsh weather when the temperature is still running at -40, -15 I saw in the morning, and allowing me to serve in the mission of Guru and Gauranga. And considering that tomorrow is much famed temple at Ayodhya is being inaugurated, and people are going from worldwide to see that temple. So I was told that I should be talking something about Lord Ram. So today we'll be talking about a theme. And to begin with, this is our mantra, which is written out here in Sanskrit and in Hindi, in English. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we'll be discussing about this also, and we are here because of this gentleman, Prabhu.
If it's possible, can you speak a little slower?
Sure. I'm sorry. I have this typical habit, which most of Indians suffer, of speaking very fast. And I can't help it. Like it's
wrong.
Just like it runs in the blood. But of course, that should not cause inconvenience to others. So I'll try to speak a bit slowly. And you can please point it if you find again I'm getting excited and again getting into fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say very bold.
Very nice, thank you. So Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna, Krishna's service and love of Krishna are the three great riches of life. Like you can say that what's your definition of richness for anybody and everybody, it varies from person to person. For a devotee, serving God is the greatest. For a child, being with a parent is the greatest. When you advance in age, priorities change. So even our like the child which thinks parents as gods, after it becomes teenager, you start thinking, okay, parents are burdens. So it changes. But if we are always focused on Krishna and Krishna's service and love Krishna, then we are the richest. Now, many of us will not agree to this till the last breath also, and maybe we'll have to come to the next lifetime, and maybe lifetimes, just to realize this fact. But once we realize this is the truth, then we perfect our lives, and we actually translate it into our lives also. And why it is an honor to be here speaking in front of you, because when Parikshit Maharaj was living through the curse and he had to die within 7 days. So within such a short time, he was asking, what is the purpose of life? What is the best thing that I could do? So then Shukdev Goswami started talking Krishna consciousness. And we are talking about 7 days. If I don't get prasadam on a Nirjala Ekadashi, okay, I just try to tolerate it. But next day, if I'm not able to break my fast in time or something, I start getting uncomfortable. But here we are talking about a person who was condemned to die within 7 days. And so 7 days, he did not want to waste his time doing anything else, but just think about Krishna and Krishna only, and to perfect his life. And he did that. And so here Shukdev Goswami was also very happy because he got to talk. And he mentioned that Lord Krishna is the same as the qualities of Ganges water. It purifies the entire universe. So the person who's speaking, the person who's asking, and people who are listening, everybody get purified. So we are hearing about Lord Ram. Now, it will be foolish on my part to think that everybody knows about Lord Ram, even though all of us know, but if there is one person also who's not knowing, so we discuss about that. So it was mentioned that Lord Dashrath, he was searching for somebody who could help him because he was not becoming father. And we are talking dynastic rule and we are talking Treta Yuga. So if you are a king and if you don't have your successor or son, then as per the Vedic scriptures, it was supposed to be a bad thing to happen. So he wanted son, so then he prayed, and then he was blessed with 4 sons. So it's Lord Vishnu actually who comes with paraphernalia, and so he comes as Ram, Lakshmana, Bharat, and Shatrughan. So when they have come as together, that this brother was always together, and then this is the avatar they came with. And Lord Brahma is also mentioning, like, you might have heard these prayers. It happens in the temple in the morning. Ravati Motishu, Kalanyemen Tishtan, Nana Vratam Akrod, Bhuvaneshu Kintu, Krishna Swayam Sambhavata Parama Pumandyo, Govindam Adi Pushantam Aham Bhajam. Like, I'm worshipping Govind, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna, and the different avatars in the world in the form of Ram, Nrsimha, Vaman, etc., as a subjective portions. Now, there's a thought process outside, it's not in the Western world, but in India, some people think that, okay, ISKCON means you are talking only about Krishna and you are insulting other gods because they don't use they take in the word demigod as form of insult, but that's not the case. Generally, father remains father and son remains son. You cannot say son has become father's father. So when you are talking avatars, so they are all well, but Krishna is the prime form. And of these, the biggest form or the major form is Lord Ramchandra. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining, if you are talking about Lord Ramchandra or if you are hearing, basically we are associating. That's the beauty of Vishnu avatars or Krishna. if we are just talking about them, there are 9 processes. If we are doing that or any of those processes, we are associating, we are thinking, our consciousness is perfecting towards becoming a devotee. So either ways, every time we are associating in any manner, either we are serving or we are serving the devotees of God or we are serving in temple, whatever activities we are doing or chanting, we are purifying our lives. And that is the aim of our human life. And there's some confusion that when we talk Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So people think that when you say Ram, who are you referring to? Is it Lord Balram or it is Ram? Because Ram comes in both, and actually it means both. If you are thinking Lord Balram, which is began it, that's correct. If you are thinking Ram, because we are talking Vishnu Avatar only, so devotees do not find out such trivial details. But it's better to clarify this. So, so Ram is also God, another name of Ram, and Ram also means who enjoy. And as Lord Balram basically means enjoy. And Bal means power. So Lord Balram also means the one who's very powerful. And who's Lord Balram? The Anshesh or the snake bed in which Lord Vishnu is sleeping. So Krishna means attractive. So everywhere we are talking about God as a supreme enjoyer. That's why he's called Ram also. So today we are discussing on this auspicious occasion about Lord Ramchandra. He manifested many qualities. Now, this is slightly ironical. All of us want to have situation what was during Ram Rajya or the rule of Ram, but none of us. Sorry, thank you. So all of us are hoping and praying for Lord Ram to come in our lives, but we don't want to serve. It depends on our thought process. So what are the qualities? So we see Valor, like he was so brave. Once they had just finished their education and they came back to visit their parents, so Lord Vishwamitra came and he said, "Okay, Maharaj Dashrath, I need your sons because there are many saints who are in the forest. They are trying to perform yajna or havans and prayers, but there are demons who are troubling them, and they are very vicious, and they are actually all the time interrupting. And those of us who are into prayers, and if somebody interferes in our prayers, we get very disturbed, and it is very bad also. So basically, sinfulness is increasing because of their unavailable activities. So I require your sons to help me." So Lord Dashrath thought, okay, so if I understand you correctly, you want me to help you so that sages are not getting affected, right? He said yes. And Lord Vishwamitra himself was a king earlier, and then very powerfully he became from Kshatriya to Brahmin Rishi. So that's why he was called Maharshi. So he said, okay, so I'm talking as Kshatriya to Kshatriya. He said, okay, so I'll come along. So he said, no, as I mentioned that you don't know what is the purpose. You are emotionally getting attached with your son. The purpose of your son is not what you think. He is coming here to serve a particular purpose and to help him and to glorify himself. I am taking him for the service. But Lord Dashrath could not imagine his two sons to be actually going there and getting killed by some demons. So he said, no, they are my sons. I'll do one thing. I'll come with my entire forces, and I'm powerful also, and I'll come and along with my entire powerful forces, we'll kill all the demons. But let me come. He says, no. Is this how you serve sages? I have come you for some offering, and is this what you're offering? You offer me what I want, not what you want to give. And that's the definition of offering. You give to God what God wants, not what we give. And the saints also represent God, so that's how it has to be treated. So Maharaj Dasharatha started getting scared. He said, no, you don't understand. Your son is not son, but he's coming as an avatar to deliver. And I'll be giving him some forces, some powers which he will be needing to fulfill the mission, because he has to perform very wonderful deeds. So a lot of reluctance, so Lord Dasha said, okay, please take them. So when he went to the forest to save, he actually saw there were very vicious demons who were actually spoiling all these prayers which were going on. So he killed all of them. And they had just come out. They were, let's say, they were late teenage or just beginning of 20s, somewhere under very young. But they killed so many things. And when they were doing this, so Lord Vishwamitra said, okay, since I have taught you many weapons and I have given you many powers, let's go. There's a nearby, there's a place called Mithila, and there also, I have a purpose. He knew what exactly he wanted to do, but he just said, okay, there's a kingdom nearby, we'll go there and we'll see Lord Shiv's this bow. So he said, okay. And the thing is that you just go and see, because it's a bit auspicious to see Lord Shiva's bow. He said, okay, great. But what Lord Ram and Lakshmana were not knowing, that he tricked them to go there, because Janak, Mahajanak of Mithila Naresh, he or king of Mithila, he had this bow which was given by Lord Parshuram himself to take care. And Lord Parshuram is also one of the Dasha avatars, the warrior avatar. So he had given that, and when they were transferring, so Mother Sita was a small child, she had come there and she was just cleaning the room. So picked up the bow very easily and put it in the one place. And Mahajanak was shocked that, okay, this bow which many powerful soldiers are required to move from one place, and she one single hand left and she puts it in one place. So she is so powerful, so she should be married. As a father, I should marry her to a person who is her suitable suitor, who's equivalent to her in strength at least, if not more. So they went there, and he said, okay, so there's this bow. So Lord Ram said, okay, is it okay if I could just pick it up? He said, yeah, please do. And when he tried to put pratancha or the string on that bow, it just broke off. And so Maharaj Janaka was very happy, okay, finally I found the suitable bride groom for my daughter. So they happily decided to marry. But when Lord Ram just started coming out, Vishwamitra, along with Vishwamitra and Mother Sita and Lakshman, Lord Parshuram had heard the sound, because the sound was so powerful. He heard and he understood that something has happened to the bow, and he came very angrily. And he challenged Lord Ram that how dare you do something like this? It was Lord Shiva's bow and you broke it, now you have to fight. And they had a fight for a very long time, and in which Lord Ram defeated Parshuram, and then he was humbled. And Parshuram was not an ordinary person, of course, he's an avatar, but he had killed 21 times the Kshatriya races. And to defeat that person, it indicates like what Lord, these are one of the pastimes of Lord Ram, which indicates how powerful he was. Then another quality is obedience. When when Maharaj Dashrath was in a war, so he had taken his favorite queen, Kakari, and then this fight was going on, and suddenly what happened, from the spoke, one of the nails actually fell down. And if Maharaj Dashrath was about to get off to fix his wheel, he would be defeated, because there's a war is going on, so he could not do that. So what Kakari had done, she had put her finger instead of that, and her finger got very badly injured in just trying to maintain the trust, so that momentum is maintained, and Maharaj Dashrath can fight on the war, and they won the war. So out of gratitude, he said, okay, I'll offer you 2 boons. She said, okay, when the time comes, I'll ask you, but you don't have to do anything. You are my husband, so I did my duty. She said, no, you did so much for me, so I'll give you 2 boons. And because of that, then she had a maid servant, and I'm talking about a time when next day it was decided, like tomorrow this temple is being inaugurated. So it was decided that now Lord Ram will become the next crown prince, so that the dynastic wise, he becomes the next emperor. So Kaikeyi was quite happy for her son, but then she had a maid servant called Manthara. She said that, okay, Queen, how could you be so stupid? You are not seeing the conspiracy that your son and your stepson, they are being sent away to your father's place, and in their absence, so that there is no protest, Lord Ram is being coronated as the next king. How can you allow? Well, he's my son only. What difference does it make? No, no, no. Because if I'm going to serve him, and your son will become your son's servant, Lord Ram's servant. So a servant has no reputation. You are definitely foolish. So Kaikeyi was thinking, no, 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 but still, you should not be thinking like that. We are mothers. You are really stupid. You are mother of Bharat, not of Ram. So you should not be thinking like that. What do you suggest? He said, you were given 2 boons. Now is the right time. You take those boons. Firstly, you ask Bharat to make the king, which Lord Ram is being made, and ask Ram to be sent to prison, to the Vanvas or exile in forest for 14 years. So he cannot come back to kingdom. So what is the logic? If he is away for 14 years, in 14 years, because of his good characters of Lord Bharat, everybody will start loving him, even if Ram comes. So they will not accept him as king because they will have forgotten about him. So he said, great. So following this, they manipulated, and Dashrath was forced to ask his own favorite son Ram to go to forest. Now in this backdrop, when he's just about to become a crown prince, and Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Ramchandra was so renounced, he could have said, okay, I'm going to become king, I'm very popular, what are you talking? So I'm becoming the king. Because you've seen that in present times, if for small matters, people kill each other. So you could have easily tell that a woman, not my mother but stepmother, is saying something, and you are doing this, I'm king. In fact, this is a point where Maharaj Dashrath himself said that, okay, son, because of my words, now I become my own prisoner. So why don't you straight away declare that there is a rebellion and you are the king, and you say that I am a foolish person and you put me in prison. Because I don't want you to go because of my promise. I am forced to ask you to go. But you please take me as a prisoner and you become king. And king can always take his own decisions. So you become the king, you don't go anywhere, put me in prison and you become the emperor. Lord Ramchandra said, no, nothing of that sort. He just simply said, because we are Raghuvanshi and what you have said, I'll follow that. So I'm going. And he just simply left. That is obedience. Now, I don't know about others, but my own parents, when they used to say, okay, have you finished your homework? And I was, no, I want to do this, I want to do that. That's my level of obedience. But here, a person who's about to become the crown prince or emperor, he's just simply saying, okay, you promised, so I leave. And without thinking anything, he just leaves. And this also displays quality of renunciation. He decided, since I'm about to leave, so I leave with nothing on myself, which gives a bearing that I'm taking anything from Ayodhya, just bare clothes which I'm wearing, and my weapons which I'll be needing because I'm Kshatriya, so I'll be needing that. So that's all I take. So Mother Sita said that, okay, like in Christians also they say that for better or worse. So I'm your wife, so and I'm your, in Indian culture they say better half. So since I'm your half only, so I'll go wherever you go because without you I'm incomplete in any case, so I'll go. And Brother Lakshman said, okay, first of all, and Lord Lakshman is Anand Sheth, so he has a very quick temper and he gets very angry very fast. So he said, well, father has gone mad in the lust of some woman. You don't get into that. I'll kill the king only, and you become this. He said, no, we are not doing this. I'm just going. So he said, then I'm also coming. And then he told his wife, Urmila, okay, wherever my brother goes, I'm going with. So you please be here, and I just go. This indicates like that's how he was announced, and his quality was shared by his own brother and his wife. Then our brother himself. So when Lord Ram left, and then Kaikeyi sent missives or missionaries to basically to send message to his sons Bharat and Shatrughan to please come. they came to temple and they found that Lord Dasharatha is not coming out and everybody is mourning and everybody is like quite angry to see Lord Bharat, and then he was wondering what happened. And then he found that what has happened because of mantra. So he got very angry at mantra. And then he started shouting at Kaikai. And he went to Maharaj Dasharatha and he said, whatever you've done, but anyway, I'm not becoming king. I'm being Lord Ram. So Maharaj Dasharatha said, actually, I had promised to your mother. So he said, no, Lord Ram only is fit to be king, so I'll get him. So Maharaj Dasharatha still had some hopes. Now what I had given, the person I'm asking, he's abdicating and he wants his brother to become, so he became a bit happy. So then he went there and then Lord Ram said, let's go. But then Ram refused to bring. So he said, I don't want to come back. And so he said, you do one thing. You give me this thing, what you are wearing. So his paduka or this footwear. So he put it on his head. He said, now I'll use this, put in the seat or your throne. And you are still the king and I'll be living in a hut and all the decisions that are taken, I'll be taking on the hut. And in your name, they'll be carried out. So this is how his brother was behaving. And he said that actually your mother wanted to be, so you be that. But both brothers were equally generous to each other. And then he was also emotional. This is slightly controversial point for many people, but let's look in the correct perspective. When Lord Ramchandra went to forest and Ravan kidnapped Sita Devi, and then Lord Ram came. First of all, he got angry at Lakshman that I told you to protect because I had gone to catch this demon, Marich, who had come as golden deer, which attracted Mother Sita, and you did not take care, and now what has happened? So he was showing the symptoms of a person who is attached to a woman. Here, Srila Prabhupada mentions, if a person is overtly attracted to women, so how it leads to defamation. Like, because Maharaj Dasharatha was surrendered to Kaikai, so he had to suffer and his family became unhappy. And Lord Ramchandra had to go to forest for 14 years. Lord Lakshman had to face humiliation because Mother Sita thought that he's not going to protect Ram, who's in some danger, so she started insulting him. And Ravan got attracted by Sita, so he lost his army, his kingdom, his life and everything. So what single act led to so many things, which is like a chain reaction. Then while he was going, so Bhakt Vatsal is the person who is very much in love with his own devotees. Like we have seen many past times, when we do something for God, God reciprocates. We give to God as per our capacity, but God reciprocates as per His capacity, and His capacity is limitless. So same way there was a big bird called Jatayu, who was trying to protect Mother Sita, but then somehow he could not because he was quite old also, and Ravan was very powerful, so he managed to harm him and then took away Sita. But when Lord Ram came, he found that this Jatayu is about to die. So he felt very sad. He said, you are coming from my father's time, so you are as good as my father only. So he had started performing last rites and left. Now you can say that, you're such an educated, why he was showing such compassion to an animal. But the thing is that he saw that he has done so much of sacrifice. He is my devotee, he has sacrificed so much. This is the least I could do is to perform last rite, so that at least he gets to his heavenly abode. Then he had patience and discipline. Because Anantshesh is there, so with Lakshmana around, there's no problem. But Lord Ram had come with a particular purpose to set examples for other human beings to follow in the ages to come. So he waited 3 days and prayed for ocean to come. Please part ways. We have to go to Sri Lanka or Ceylon of that time. We want to just cross over because we have a war to fight, which is actually Dharma Yuddha. So please allow us to go. But ocean was not bothered. He said, people come, people go. He did not identify the real identity of Lord Ram, so he did not say anything. Then Lord Ram actually got very angry. And then water suddenly started boiling, and then Varun, or this ocean, god of ocean, sea, he actually got very fearful. And then he said, I'm sorry, I did not recognize you, but please understand, you have two monkeys who are supporting you. They have this curse which you can use to your advantage, that if they throw anything in water, it starts floating. So you could take their thing. So what they started doing, that they started ram on stones and they started throwing. Now this may seem like a story, but there are stones which are still floating, and there was a picture taken by NASA. So if you see, if you look in the water, the bridge is still there, existing very much out there. So God, as a God, He shows His omnipotence also. Then as a warrior, when he went to war, he was in exile. So he did not come back. Okay, Dashrath Maharaj has left. Now, brother Bharat, so I had a lot of fight. So please give me my forces because I'm to fight against Ravana. He did not do that because he's in exile. So he has to respect that also. So he says, okay, let's do one thing. What are my resources? Because the typical survivor or warrior fights with whatever is available, and that's the psychology which behind martial arts also, that you use whatever resources are available to you. So Lord Ram went and talked to monkeys and bears and all those things, and they were fighting the war against a very well-trained professional army, which are having so many weapons and all, but they were fighting with stones, sticks, and whatever they could lay their hands on, with nails, teeth. They were fighting. So this indicates, and he actually won their war also. So that indicates how big a warrior he was, and how he marshaled his resources. And as a husband, Sita was kidnapped. So Lord Ram massacred the entire evil race itself, just because of Sita. Because husband and wife were the same. She went because husband was going, so she left all the riches just to be with the husband. And husband said, okay, this person, this culprit kidnapped my wife, so I killed the entire race. So this is how he was behaving as a husband also. Then as a friend, he knew that in an entire clan, only Vibhishan was a devotee and everybody else was a demoniac like Ravan. So he did not go to Ceylon because as an emperor I must go and kill. Because Vibhishan is following Dharma, so he should be the lawful king out there, and I am there to punish the culprit, so the rightful devotee comes to the power. So that way he behaved as a friend towards Vibhishan also. And now, one more reason that what is the understanding for us when Ravan was killed and Ravan was dying, so everybody started shouting and crying, and Ravan started bleeding because arrow was pierced to him. So what it indicates, if you realize that Ravan was not an ordinary person, and in fact it was so powerful that if you are going in India, you will find that he had written something called Ravan Samhita. Those who are into astrology will understand that he would mention like past, present, future, and he was very, very intelligent. He was born of a Brahmin father and demoniac mother, so he had mixed characteristics. But he could have done many things. He had pleased Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was himself happy with him, and he was so powerful. But when his past credits got over, then he had to die. So understanding for us is that if we are just basking on past laurels, okay, I am a devotee, I am here, I've done so many pious deeds, and if you don't actually recharge our activities, pious activities, so the minute our pious activities go down, we'll also fall down, like Ravan fell down. And now we see that generally, if you realize when we have won also, generally most of us remember, okay, because of this person, I have to see so many sufferings. I have to be away from my luxurious lives. I have to be away with my wife. My wife was kidnapped, and so many troubles I have to go through. So we tend to become bitter because of the instigator, the person who was behind us. But when Lord Ram came, Bharat had said that, okay, I'll kill that bad woman. He said, no, son can be bad son, but mother can never be bad mother. So please forgive her. And it's this karma, it was in destiny. So please forgive. So when he came, He touched and loved his mother Kaikeyi as he touched his mother Kaushalya's feet. So he did not have any this malicious intentions or some vindictiveness or nothing of that sort. Even the mantra who was instigated, he forgave her also. So this indicates like how benevolent he himself was. And he is also called Maryada Purushottam Ram, or the ideal person, or in Mandarin parlance you will say gold standard or 24 karat gold, because that's the highest standard. So he set the example, how ideal example of a king should be. Now there were many kings like Maharaj Yudhishthira, who was son of Dharmaraj himself, Yamraj, and Maharaj Parikshit. And now you may say that okay, but they are honoring human beings. But Maharaj Parikshit was so powerful that even before he was born, Maharaj, the Lord Krishna himself protected him. And Kali Yuga could not come because Maharaj Parikshit was there. That's why it was manipulated that he was cursed to die, which we saw in the beginning, in 7 days. Because Maharaj Parikshit was so angry that he had actually said, "I'll kill Kali Yuga." So he said, "No, you please don't do that." And that's another pastime. But then Maharaj Parikshit was also great. But here we are talking about Lord Ram because he is the king of all kings. He is the Parmeshwar himself. And when we talk about Ram Rajya, please understand, as per Vedic culture, if the ruler of a country is pious, so the kingdom will be happy. And everybody will be very happy. Though we are talking about Treta Yuga or the third age, which came in second because of course he had to liberate this Ahilyabai, who had become a stone statue. But then everything was as good as Satyuga only because Lord Ram was the ruler. Everything was there, and it is said that if the ruler is ruling properly, then the kingdom is flourishing with all the happiness and all the good things. All auspicious things are happening. So when Lord Ramchandra was the king, there was nobody who was falling sick, old, bad birth, old age, death, and disease, like 4 miseries which you say. There was nothing happening. There was no death unless you wanted to die. That was the power of Ram Raj. We are talking about that type of king he was. So can we, that is now I'm concluding, I'm saying, can we at least try to make this temple where we are sitting as Ram Raj? If we cannot make the Finland or this entire world or entire India as Ram Raj, can we at least try to do this by doing whatever with our clean consciousness, whatever we can do to help each other with whatever capacity we have. Somebody has riches, somebody has brain, somebody has strength. Whatever we can serve each other and in the temple and helping and advancing in Krishna consciousness. So that is my request. Now, why are we saying this? Now, please understand one thing. There is a saying in Hindi like, "Boon boon se sagar banta hai." Ocean is made of small drops. When we start pouring those small drops, then it becomes an ocean. Like we were discussing right from the beginning that today we are talking about Ram Rajya and Lord Ram. Because tomorrow is the temple which is being inaugurated in the same place where Lord Ram took place or he took part. And even that, please see how many people have come there. There are at least 20 lakh volunteers or 2 million volunteers who went to 12.7 or 127 crores or 127 million families to collect for donations. And this temple was estimated to cost 180 billion rupees or 1.9 or approximately you can say 2 billion euros. And it is not built by one, and everybody has contributed from wherever and with whatever capacity they can do. So this is a temple that will be inaugurated tomorrow. It should be coming as live also. Thank you very much. If there's any question or any comments, please speak. Any questions? Any comments? Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna. While you talking about like Lord,
Yes.
you said Ram is Lord and Krishna is Lord,
Yes.
and you say the Ram and Krishna both are avatar from Vishnu.
No, please continue.
Yeah.
Because after you said that, I'll come to that. Yeah.
Then the Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, is not Lord. I think the Lord is Vishnu. What you can you make clear about these things? I'm really confused about.
Probably, where are you from? Are you from India?
I'm from Nepal.
Nepal, yeah, Hindu Rashtra.
Same you say,
Yeah.
like I'm from Mithila.
Yeah, so you're coming from Mother Sita's place only.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for coming here. You're a Dhamvasi, so I'll not be the usual person I am, but the thing is that we are talking about, you have heard about Dashavatar. Depending on time, place, and circumstances, Lord comes in a particular avatar. And it's not in the scope of this discussion, but all avatars have particular qualities, and there are actually 64 qualities. And all avatars can display all those qualities, but only as Lord Krishna, which is the original form, or 16-year-old boy form, is in which he fully displays those 64 qualities. In every avatar, Krishna or Lord, as you know, in Lord Vishnu, they come in a particular form to particularly do some particular duties. But Lord Krishna comes only to enjoy. And if you look, Lord Krishna came after Lord Ram, because as Lord Ram, he was serving the role model as a Maryada Purushottam Ram, like the perfect person, perfect human being. So that time he had promised many things, like many sages who wanted to associate with Lord Ram. There were 16,108 sages who wanted to associate with Lord Ram. And all those monkeys and bears who had helped him, he wanted to express his gratitude. So they all came in this world also. And every time in every avatar, they are all coming with him as his associates, because God never goes alone anywhere. So they were coming so to fulfill their promises. So he came here, and as Lord Krishna, he breaks all the rules. That's why in Bhagavad Gita he tells Arjuna, "You declare as my devotee that God is going to serve what devotee says." Because he said that, because if I say, because he's a God and God can do anything. So he says, as Krishna, if I promise anything, mostly I'll be breaking that promise also. But if you are saying something, but then I'm bound by your promise, because as a Bhakta Vatsal or as a devotee of, as a devotee's devotee, Krishna says that whatever my devotee is, I'll fulfill that. Even though I don't want to do that, but since my devotee is committed, I will do that. So only as Krishna, he displays all the 64 qualities. Even as Lord Ram, he is displaying less qualities. I think he is displaying around, if I'm not mistaken, 60 qualities, not 64 qualities. And actually, Krishna is the avatar, and Vishnu and all these Dashavatars are actually, we call it Vishnu Tattva. But all are Lord Krishna only. And Krishna displays his qualities as all 64 qualities. That's why he's the person. That's why we are calling International Krishna Consciousness. We are not calling Dashavatar Society. That is the point. Does it answer your question?
Thank you.
You don't look very satisfied, but I can explain that. But the thing is that this is a basic answer. If you are interested, we can discuss afterwards also. Any other questions? Yes?
So from our lecture, we know that Lord Parashurama was there in the Dwapar Yuga.
Yes.
And he was the guru of Bhishma.
Yes.
But we saw from this lecture that he was there in the Treta Yuga also, and Lord Rama defeated him. So like how could we try to understand this?
Could you please repeat your question, because your question became so big that essences was very
So Parashurama, the Lord Parashurama, he was there in the Dwapar Yuga or in the Treta Yuga.
We are talking about Treta Yuga.
Yeah, but I mean,
Lord Parshuram is also Dashavatar, so he can come in any of the ages. And this is an interesting pastime, because one avatar is fighting with another avatar. Do you see that? Lord Parshuram is fighting with Lord Ram, and both are Vishnu avatar only, and Dashavatars. So they are fighting with each other. This is the pastime. In fact, in Sagar Manthan, that's Samudra Manthan, where this nectar came and devotees and demons and gods or demigods are fighting. That time also Kurma avatar and then Vishnu avatar and Mohini avatar. So again they came in multiple. For God, everything is possible. So there are two avatars fighting each other. So and if you are talking about that, as you were discussing, if you know this Jamban, he was fighting with Lord Ram, but then he gave his daughter to Krishna to marry Jamvati.
Yeah, right.
So he is Treta Yuga as well as Dwapar Yuga. And if you remember, Lord Hanuman, he realized that his brother has become very arrogant. So he taught him a lesson. And then he said, okay, I'll be there. So he was in Arjun's flag. So Krishna was there because wherever is Ram, Lord Hanuman is there. So when Krishna is being Sarthi or charioteer for Arjun, so Lord Hanuman has to be also there. So they come. So there's for God everything is possible. For us, it's difficult to imagine like how these yugas are going. And incidentally, one of the points which is mentioned out here is that if you look at the clock, 12, 3, 6, and 9. So same way, Dwapar is also, these yugas are also going in circle. So firstly it is Satyug, then Dwapar Yuga, then Treta Yuga, and then Kali Yuga, and then again Satyug. But this is the only time when it is like abnormal, you could say. Firstly Satyug comes, then Treta, then Dwapar. Treta means third Yuga, but it comes second, and Dwapar comes third because Ahilya was given curse by her husband because Indra had violated and both had to serve the curse. So she was served to become cursed to become a stone statue. So Vishwamitra, I did not mention that, but Vishwamitra took Lord Ram deliberately to the forest so that he touches her. The basic purpose was to actually free her from her curse. So that the yugas were also changed just to make her that way. So for God, anything is possible. Changing of yugas and everything is possible. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other question?
Jai Shri Ram, Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Please take over. There's some announcement to be made. Or can you do tomorrow also?
Shri Govinda Prabhu ki Jai.